Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Anthony Joshua, the former unified champion, has responded to current WBC champions' call-out, an official call-out to fight by the end of the year. So we'll go through that and then a few thoughts, because what's the chance of this happening? Is it feasible in any way, shape or form? But also, why now? What's the motivation? And would the WBC allow it? It's a question. So as you can see here, Tyson Fury had put up a mock poster and he'd said to Anthony Joshua, at Anthony Joshua, what you saying, Big G? Let's give the fans what they want. Usyk is bitching. I got the date and venue. Who will rule Britannia? And Anthony Joshua, he responds, yeah, come. I don't do the online discussions just for clout. So if you're really about it, shout out at 258 Management. I'll be ready in December. Kalas. Well, hopefully I didn't butcher that. But I guess the question is this going anywhere? Because my natural inclination, because it's boxing, big fights so often do not get made for various reasons, finance being among them, is kind of to say that it's not going to happen. And I'm half expecting within the next few days to a week, one side or the other, or both, to basically say the other side didn't want it. Let's face it, I think most of us are probably already in that space expecting that type of thing. And that Fury will say Joshua didn't want it, and Eddie Hearn on Joshua's behalf will say it wasn't real, and that was basically just Fury clout chasing. Which it could be, but if it were to happen, there's a few interesting things about it, because I think most fans have wanted this fight for years. And I think, first off, I would say, let's face it, the peak amount of money that would have been in this fight, it's probably not there anymore. So I guess one interesting question that I was thinking about is, well, if they don't have it now, well, when? Because surely the value of this fight will just continue to drop if these guys end up taking losses, or Joshua takes another loss in the next year or two, whatever. Undisputed was obviously going to be the whole kit and caboodle in terms of the money. It was the big one. I mean, maybe Tyson Fury is thinking, well, I should probably try to fight Joshua now, because the value in the fight is only probably going to go down. Let's face it. But can this actually happen? Because the WBC, are they going to allow a guy in Anthony Joshua coming off 2 consecutive losses to face Tyson Fury off those 2 consecutive losses? So Joshua hasn't had a win for a couple of years now. Are they going to give some sort of dispensation to allow a fighter coming off 2 losses to fight Fury for the title? I mean, there are rules and regulations, but I guess that also comes down to the WBC's always got lots of loopholes and ins and outs where they can kind of just say, well, we'll make up the rules as we go along and we reserve the right to do so. I mean, that's kind of their bag. And I guess one of the other things that I've been thinking about is Tyson Fury thinking, well, actually, I'm going to be facing Alexander Usyk in 2023 at some point, probably not in February when Usyk said. I mean, if Fury's fighting in December, it's probably not going to be February, but maybe he wants to make a bit of a point, if this does go ahead, to try to face and beat Anthony Joshua more definitively than Alexander Usyk, because I think they would be very different fights. But obviously there's some risk for Tyson Fury from a puncher in Joshua. Certainly Usyk was on the end of some sharp punches from Joshua, and he let the world know that, yeah, Joshua can punch, and actually I was marked up from the first fight and felt them in the second as well. But maybe this is a message to Alexander Usyk if it goes ahead. Look, anything you can do, I can do better. So there could actually be some real motivation for Tyson Fury to want this fight, for it to happen. I mean, obviously the money would be one of the things as well. He may actually get more for a fight with Anthony Joshua than for Alexander Usyk. I mean, that could be a possibility. Fury's been raving about $500 million for an undisputed fight with Usyk, but come on, that's not realistic. But Anthony Joshua still brings eyes and money to the heavyweight division. He's a popular fighter, more popular than Alexander Usyk globally. And I think he's always going to bring some money and fans to the table, etc., all that sort of stuff, despite the losses. And he didn't disgrace himself in that second fight. He fought better. He just didn't get the win. He's not as good as Alexander Usyk, plain and simple. So Fury's probably interested in that, and it's a fight he has said he does want. And if they never fight, and if the value of the fight continues to go down, well, it certainly would be a lost opportunity. So I think there are some motivating factors for it to happen, but also at the end of the day, Tyson Fury kind of comes out and says one thing one day, something the next. I mean, the guy lies all the time. It's just part of his DNA. So, you have to sort of factor that in too, that this could just be all clout, as Joshua, sort of implies that it could be clout. What do you make of this? Is this feasible? I mean, I'd be shocked out of my skin if this actually happened. I'd love it to happen. It'd be a great fight, especially if it happened in the United Kingdom. But wouldn't it be the irony if it did go ahead and then all of a sudden it was in the Middle East somewhere? That would certainly, I'm sure, be a kick in the knackers for some UK boxing fans. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.